Hello watch enthusiasts, this is OJ Watley coming to you in real time, direct from What You Want, and this is another Time Talks video. As always, if you like our watch videos, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, What You Want Inc., and also make sure to check out our website, www.whatyouwant.com, so you can view this amazing watch, as well as our entire inventory of watches on our website in high-resolution detailed photos. Additionally, our website is updated on a daily and sometimes hourly basis with new arrivals and sneak peeks, so make sure to check back often. Also, if you like our watch videos, please make sure to tell us what you like about them, and if there's something that you'd like to see or some way that we can improve, please let us know, as we're always looking to improve our users' experience. So today, I'm here to talk to you about a very rare and interesting Panerai. If you look at the dial, the first thing you'd think is, hey, I think this is a pre-vendome Panerai. At the very least, it looks like a pre-A Panerai in that it's got those bold, chalky numbers, and it's also got that stamp on the dial, that T-Swiss-T dial. Now, the A-series Panerais, they all had the T-Swiss-T dial, but the pre-A Panerais, which is sort of this transitional bird between when Panerai was purchased by the Vendome Luxury Group, aka Cartier, and when they were independent, there were a lot of parts that were recycled and reused, and there were a lot of watches that were sort of transplanted with different dials and the like. But the point is, the pre-A watches, which were sort of a trial run to release watches not sold directly by the Panerai Florence boutique, but by other dealers, like Ferretti, for example, all of those pre-A watches had a T-Swiss-T dial. So the watch that we're looking at today is actually, while it's stamped an A-series Panerai PAM 09, it happens to be a transitional pre-A, and here are some of the unique and interesting features as a transitional pre-A watch. Again, as I mentioned, number one, it's got that T-Swiss-T dial. And if you look at the Arabic numbers, the 12 and the 6 and the 9, what you'll see in those loops on the 9 and the 6 is a very almost closed loop. In fact, it almost looks completely closed, and what you'll see in later versions of the Panerai Arabic numbers on the dials from the A, the B, the C, the D, etc. series, is you'll see an opening of those numbers. You'll also see sort of a greater alignment. You know, they say that the pre-vendome Panerai dials, they sort of had a jumbledness to them. Everything wasn't absolutely perfect in terms of being totally horizontal or totally vertical, and the numbers were sort of crooked, if you will. And again, if you look at this watch really closely, you'll see sort of that crookedness that is characteristic of the pre-A and pre-vendome Panerai watches. So as a transitional pre-A watch, this has the tritium dial with the T-Swiss-T. It's a big difference between the T-Swiss-T dial because these were the original pre-vendome dials. What you'll see on the case back is you'll see that this watch is in fact stamped as an A series. It's a LP6502, and it's got the BB97 serial number, indicating that it was one of the first pieces that were made. As a transitional pre-vendome piece, it's got a very low number of 971450, and they say that if you subtract 400 from the 1450, this will be the 1050th watch that came out of production, starting with the A series. So it's a very low production number. This watch is under 100 of the first 1,000 pieces that were made. But some other interesting features of this watch is that transitional, what I call the transitional pre-A strap. If you'll notice, this A-series watch, which was typical of A-series watches to have that original thumbnail buckle, this particular watch has the original oversized bottle opener style pre-vendome buckle. Now, interestingly enough, those pre-vendome buckles, they had the OP Arrows logo on them, and they would typically say Panerai, but as a pre-A buckle, this particular watch, I'm going to try to get a close-up of the buckle here, this particular watch is stamped with just the Panerai logo, and the buckle is actually sewn into the strap. A very interesting feature of this is that it had the sewn-in buckle, and also it wasn't made from the same material as the original A-series straps. This was left over from the pre-vendome stock of leather straps, And again, featuring the sewn-in buckle, not the screw-in buckle, featuring the pre-vendome style buckle, but a very short-lived style strap and buckle. The suspicion is that Panerai ran out of stock of these straps. These were the original Kodiak straps. But the suspicion is that Panerai ran out of stock of the buckles and the straps, and therefore they had to go with the straps that we now see today that were made out of the Austrian factory, I believe by Hirsch, if I'm not mistaken. So this has that very unique buckle that's sewn into the strap. This is the original semi-matte, orange strap. It's sort of patinaed to more of a brownish, tannish color. And it's got that ecru stitching. And what's interesting about this strap is that most of the original pre-A watches, they featured a strap that was actually longer than the traditional and standard length of what we consider today. So today, the traditional and standard length of a Panerai strap is 75 millimeter by the pieces that attach to the buckle and 115 by the piece with the holes in it. The original A-series Panerais and pre-vendome and pre-A series Panerais, those straps were typically longer, and typically they were an 85 millimeter piece that attached to the buckle and a 115 millimeter piece with the holes in it. The rationale for that was that, remember, these watches had the DNA of being professional divers' watches, and more often than not, they were worn over a diver's wetsuit or over a dry suit rather than on a person's wrist. Therefore, they were fitted with much longer straps. Additionally, remember in 1997-98 when these watches were released, these were gargantuan watches, and the only kind of guys wearing gargantuan watches were guys typically with gargantuan wrists. As such, most of the straps were 85 millimeter by 115. Now, interestingly, this transitional pre-A piece has a strap that is the original size of 75 millimeter by 115. Again, I just want you to take a look at those chalky numbers. As you can see, those numbers look like they have been engraved into the dial. That was the process that they used to make these dials for the pre-vendome and pre-A watches, the transitional pre-A and the pre-A watches. They would engrave the number on the dial, which was sort of the precursor to the sandwich dials that we now see today. Rather than going all the way through the dial, they would create a big enough sort of divot in the dial and fill that with the luminous material, and that's where you have these bold, chalky, and very bright and luminous numbers. This is a PVD coated PAM 09A, and it's numbered in a series of 1,000 pieces, but the speculation is that they actually made less than 1,000 pieces. As much as they're numbered in an addition of 1,000 pieces, that actually represents the number of marinas as well, and Panerai has yet to deny or confirm that piece of information. So we'll just assume they made 1,000 pieces of the PAM 09, but I think my theory is that they certainly made much less than that. So there you have it. This is just a pretty great example. The watch is in outstanding condition. You could tell it's been worn because it's certainly, not a safe queen, and at the same time there's no big gouges or scratches on the watch. It happens to be just an outstanding specimen that's in phenomenal condition. Again, I wouldn't say it's perfect, but I would say it's darn near close to it. And the beauty of that is this is a watch that you can put on your wrist and go out and wear and not worry about keeping as a safe queen. There you have it, the transitional A-series or pre-A Luminor Panerai, the base. As close as you get to a pre-vendome Panerai without being a pre-vendome Panerai and without paying the pre-vendome Panerai price. There were some additional pieces about this watch that made it very unique. Additionally, the box set and the paperwork was very different from the A-series watches, and sometimes these transitional pre-A's came with that original pre-A series paperwork, and other times they came with the A-series paperwork. Generally speaking, they usually came with the A-series paperwork, which was a separate manual and a separate libretto. But the pre-A series actually came with one booklet that was a consolidation of the libretto and the instruction manual all in one booklet. You can check out our website listing to see all of the contents that come with this watch in much more detail. It's been my pleasure bringing you such a rare, such a unique Panerai watch, such a collectible piece, and such a wearable piece. As always, if you like our videos, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, What You Want Inc. And if there's something that you'd like to see or some way that we can improve in our videos, please make sure to let us know that, as we're always looking to improve our viewers' experience. Thank you so very much for your time today. And as always, wear your watches in the very best of health. This is O.J. Watley signing off. Have a great day.